Hi and welcome to my channel. Now I normally talk about hi-fi but just gone slightly off topic, and this is the last one I'm going to do looking at these old retro things they're bringing out now. I've done a radio cassette recorder that played MP3s. I'll do a link at the top to that one if you wanted to go and watch that. This is just a radio. This is like an old-fashioned kind of like valve radio you would have got back maybe in the 30s, 40s, 50s and 60s, something like that. But this is a battery one. It's actually got an internal battery. I'll show you all that in a minute. And this is like, that kind of old retro style. So anyone interested in maybe picking up one of these, I'm going to put a link down below to the actual model number and everything this one is. They do two different colours. This is like the light of the wood on the outside. They do one with a darker wood kind of finish on the outside. There is a £10 difference on Amazon between the two. This is the cheaper one out of the two because it's got the lighter wood. If you wanted the darker wood, you're going to pay an extra tenner. So we're going to have a little look inside and see exactly what's in there. As you can see, there it is opened up. Not a lot in here as usual. Pretty much the same as a radio cassette that I had. Hardly any guts to it at all, on one board really. It's got a built-in speaker, as you can see. This is slightly smaller than the speaker that's actually in the radio cassette that I reviewed earlier. But this speaker seems to go up a little bit higher and has a little bit more bass to it than the radio cassette version. So it's a little bit more detailed, this speaker. So that's the speaker. There's the old power supply, the old little transformer there. And this transformer does get hot as it did in the radio cassette. And there you can see measurement there. I think it's over 70 degrees that I measured it. I'm not too keen when they get too hot, so it's something I wouldn't leave on and walk out the house. I don't think I'd be, especially when it's all back compact inside this unit. It's going to get quite warm, especially in the summer. But I've been doing a little research, reading online and all that kind of stuff, and people say, I'm only taking their word for it, that some of these transformers go up to 150 and 200 degrees Celsius. Now, these would be quite well-made transformers, where this is probably as cheap as chips kind of thing. So the wiring inside this transformer may not be as good as the wiring inside them other transformers that go up to 150, 200 degrees. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying this is a load of rubbish. I'm just saying maybe just a little bit careful. So okay, how did it sound? Right, I keep missing bits out. Before I actually say how it sounds, I just want to bring you back to this back here. Just show you a little bit more about this. I said it had an internal battery. It hasn't. It's actually external. It actually comes out this battery. They only supply you with one, and this is I think a 6-volt battery, 6, 7 volts, 9 volts, something like that. I can't remember. I put it down at the bottom of the screen. And that goes in there, and it's a space for two. They only give you one. It doesn't matter which side you put it in. It does work. It recharges up when you plug this in the mains. It will recharge up. You could always go out and get another one of these if you want. These are about £5 each. So if you wanted to, obviously recharge it, it'll last twice as longer than it would with one. But I had this on over 8 hours. I didn't have it very loud. I must admit, like kind of medium-ish kind of volume, I suppose. But it lasted 8 hours once charged. So it's got quite a bit of charge to it. That battery ain't too bad at all. Now you can plug in the mains here. Just show you a picture of the back. The mains there, you can plug in a USB, one of the micro USBs there to power it. And while you're plugging in the mains of the USB, it will actually, like I say, recharge the battery. And it's got a funny few sockets here as well. It's got a solar panel socket. And I was looking at the what voltage this was actually take with. I was trying to work it out, and it looks like this is meant for a 6-volt solar panel. So if you had a 12-volt solar panel, you wouldn't want to plug it into this, it'd be too much. But if you had one of these little 6-volt ones you can buy, you could plug it into that, put it on the window ledge or something like that, and it could charge it up while you're using it. So you're theoretically going to get this playing for nothing all the time kind of thing. And it's also got another socket here that says light, and this gives out about 5 volts. I think it's 4.7 volts, something like that. It gives out to power. Yeah, it's 4.7 volts it gives out. And if you've got it in the mains, if you're supplying it with between 5 and 9 volts here on the USB, if you've got a power adapter there, which would be about 6 volts in there, this would give out 4.7 volts to power a light or something like that. I'm not too sure what it's for. Maybe it's if you had a camping trip or something like that, you plug your light into there. Probably never ever going to use that feature. I don't think you're ever going to use the solar power feature, to be honest with you. But I just thought I'd show you the back there, just to explain. And it's only got that little vent, like I say, that transformer getting quite hot. No other vents, just that little vent. So maybe just be a tad careful. Let's put it that way. Right, finally onto the sound. Like I said, I did have this radio cassette I reviewed. I put the link at the top there. I think I've already done that, but if I haven't, I'll put it up there now. This actual radio here, this one here, does sound better. This sounds like a typical kind of like old 70s ghetto blaster back then, a cheap ghetto blaster. But this has just got a little bit more definition, a little bit more better tone, so a little bit more warmer. It's not a fantastic sound, but it ain't a bad sound. For what it is, it ain't too bad. Don't forget, in the UK, it's cost about £29, something like that. So for what it is, it isn't too bad. So let's kind of give you a little demo. I'm going to do a little demo track, but just turn it on anyway. This is the radio. Now, I won't play the radio too much because it does kind of interfere with copyright and everything. But the radio on here does sound, it's got a better reception than that. It's not too bad, but this is just a little bit better. But it can be finicky. Tuning it in is a little bit finicky. But once you get it there, it holds it there. Come and turn it on again. It's exactly where you left it off. It's got a little telescopic area at the back there. But I found the radio reception on here was better. It pulled in the stations better. Just had a little bit more detail, a little bit better sound than it did on this radio here, which wasn't too bad, but this was definitely the better out of the two. The only other feature here, it's got USB, so you can plug in your USB stick here, you can flick it over there to USB, and it will start playing the USB.
The BBC Concert Orchestra is...
Okay, I will play at the end of the video. I'm going to leave you out where I've actually recorded this with my little recorder rather than going through the microphone on the camera. And it doesn't sound too bad. It sounds, you know, pretty good for what it is, and the radio is pretty much consistent of how the USB sounds. So if you get an idea how the USB sounds, the radio sounds pretty much the same. Also got Bluetooth on here as well. So if you actually took that out, turned it on, and you press the Bluetooth button, it'll link up to your phone Bluetooth wise, so that'll come up on your phone. I think it says radio and Bluetooth radio I think comes up on your phone. You'll soon see on your phone, your iPad, something that's unfamiliar. That's what it's going to come up with, and you just pair it up and it pairs up, and it will take incoming calls, etc. if you wanted to do that. Not the kind of thing I would do, but you can enable that as well on your phone, that this actually takes the incoming calls as well. But yeah, just for playing Bluetooth files and that over music, MP3, etc. over Bluetooth, it sounds fine. Very, very consistent sounding wise as it is with the USB. Like I say, I'll leave a little demo track right towards the end of this video. So all in all, that is it. It's quite weighty, it's got quite a solid case, it's all wooden, and that does help with the sound as well. I'd be tempted to put maybe a little bit of foam in there just to deaden it just a little bit, but I'm not going to do that because you know, some of you may think, you know, it's not a bad idea doing something like that, but I think it is with that transformer getting a bit hot. I think I'll just leave it exactly, because it can sound just a little bit hollow, but if you put a bit of foam in there, it would tighten it up a little bit more. But being that transformer in there, I wouldn't want to cause any fires or anything like that, so I'm going to leave it exactly as it is. And you could maybe tape something to the side panels or something like that if you just wanted to tighten up the sound a little bit more. Okay, that's it. I think it's not bad value really for £29. Quite a nice little radio. You can walk around the house with it. Got the old battery, it's going to last you 8 hours, something like that. Just keep charging it up every now and again. You get quite a bit of pleasure out of that, I think. Okay, thanks for watching. See you all soon.